Hey, what's up? Ian here, and today I would like to talk about this Zhulinniao Qing Luan, and it is a single dynamic driver IEM, and the retail price for this, you won't believe it, it's just 50 bucks. And for 50 bucks, you get good quality shell, right? At the same time, come with a lot of accessories and with the tuning nozzle itself. Yeah, so very cheap, I would say. 50 bucks, okay? So if you are interested, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. So let's not waste any time. I think you guys already know the drill after watching so many of my videos. So let's start off with the specifications, which is at the back of this box, and which I want to show you this box. This box is a very nice box. The impedance is 32 ohms, sensitivity is 106, and the frequency range is 20 to 20,000 hertz, and the driver is a 10mm DLC diaphragm composite driver. Okay, now let's go through the accessories, and let me just show you the box. Okay, this is a very nice box for 50 bucks. Very nice presentation as well, as you can see. All the paperwork is nicely laid out here. It's all in Chinese, alright, you can use Google Translate anytime. And then you've got a pouch somewhere here. Yes, the pouch is here. It's a very nice pouch, right? This is a hard shell case, right? It does protect your IEM, and it comes with a drawstring. Okay, and on the inside you've got your mesh pocket, and you got felt, which doesn't scratch your IEM, and it's hard shell. Okay, for 50 bucks, you get this very nice case. At the same time, you get three different types of ear tips. You got this very unique ear tip from Zhulinniao. Okay, again, I do not know the name of this, but they're selling this separately. So very nice ear tips, grippy. It's got like a conal shape, and it's not a conventional type of ear tip, and it's wide open. It's got a wide bore, so it gives quite a bit of treble, quite a lot actually. And then you got your normal bore, normal type of ear tips, which is okay, is fine. And then you have your treble, more enhanced type of ear tip with wide bore kind of thing. It's kind of soft, right? And it's kind of flat. It's kind of like a pancake type of ear tip. So yeah, not a fan of this, but I prefer the other one. Okay, so very nice box. Okay, so let me just put this one side. And the cable, right? Cable is a 2-core cable, and very nice cable again, right? You got a straight type 3.5 headphone jack, Y splitter, chin slider, the works. The only thing I don't quite like is this ear hook. Ear hook is a little bit on the stiffer side, and on top of that is a little bit on the odd shape. So, well, this can be a simple fix with a hair dryer, you know what I mean? But other than that, it's a pretty good cable, right? It doesn't really entangle itself. Even if it does, it's pretty easy to untangle. It doesn't look cheap. It feels good. Okay, so good cable as well. And the nozzle, right, comes with tuning nozzles. So you have two different tuning. You have your wide nozzle. The O-ring is white, as you can see, and then you have the other one, which is the O-ring is red, which is already on this, which is what I liked to use. Okay, so let me just go through the tuning later. Okay, but I'm just going to show you the accessories first. One thing about this, you got to keep it somewhere safe. You know, put it into the mesh pocket of this case, and you will not lose it. And you want to change the sound, just take it out, turn it, twist it out, and you'll change your sound. Okay, now let's talk about the IEM itself. Full of metal. All right, this whole thing is made full of metal. There's no plastic. All right, it's pure metal. It's heavy, it's hefty, not heavy. And the faceplate has got this very unique design as well. It's got like a vent here. It's not open back, but it's got like a vent here. Okay, and it's got this chinoxia kind of design here. Yeah, so pretty unique outer shell, and the inner shell is pretty normal. It's got this full metal matte finish, and the nozzle, as I mentioned, is removable. All you need to do is unscrew it, and the nozzle will come out. Okay, and then change to the nozzle of your choice, and then screw it back. So it's knurled, as you can see. It's knurled at the tip here, so it's easy for your fingers to get a grip on it. Okay, so design wise, very nice and hefty. Okay, fit and comfort is pretty good. It's pretty okay. The nozzle is a little bit on the shorter side for me, yeah, it hardly goes into my ear, and I don't really get a good seal when the nozzle is a bit too short, and I really need to insert this really far to get a good seal. So fit and comfort wise is okay, right? It doesn't give me any pain, it's just that it's a bit annoying because it keeps slipping out from my ears because of the nozzle is a little bit too short. Okay, and for seal, if I can get the fit, I'll get a good seal. Yeah, so this is actually pretty okay. I mean, even though there's a vent here, I still get a pretty good seal, and it does cut off most of the ambient sound. Okay, so that's for the build comfort and the seal. Now let's talk about the sound first. Let's talk about drivability on this. These are pretty okay to drive, okay, pretty okay, though I would suggest to give it a bit more power, a bit more body, right, because this itself is actually a very neutral tuned IEM. So give it a bit more body, and the sound will shine. Okay, so yeah, easy to drive, 50% volume, very comfortable level. I used it with my iPhone, iPad, Android phone, and my DAPs and my dongles. Okay, now in terms of gear matching, okay, I would recommend for dongles something that is really analytical and balanced or neutral sounding. So the Questal M15 is very suitable for this. It's got very sharp, clean sound, very well clinical type of sound delivered to here. So it's a pretty good match. And as for dongles, I would suggest the Xiangling M0 Pro. This also has got a pretty neutral output. It matches the Zhulinniao pretty well. Okay, so these are the gears that I would recommend. Gears that I don't really recommend is the iPods. They're a bit too round for this, too rounded. Okay, and also the FC6, again, too organic and too warm for it as well. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend these. More clinical sounding players and dongles. Okay, so that's for gear matching. Now let's talk about the tone and timbre for this. This is light, is neutral sounding, is clinical sounding, is analytical sounding, and not much of a color to the tone and timbre. Very flat type of sound, very lean sounding as well. So this will appeal to some people in terms of the tone and timbre. There's no color to it, very nice and neutral, and very reference type of sound as well. The tone and timbre is very reference. Okay, that's for the tone and timbre. Now in terms of technicalities, these are actually pretty okay. In terms of soundstage, they are quite intimate. They are also not a very open type of soundstage. It depends on the different nozzles lah. But if you use the red one, it will give you a bit wider type of soundstage. But in terms of the overall, on average, I would say this is not a very wide and very open type of soundstage. It's more intimate, but in a good way. Okay, because the sound separation and the details on this is just fantastic. Yeah, it's one of the most detailed IEM that I've tried, and one of the cleanest sound that I've heard. Okay, so sound separation and imaging on this is fantastic. In fact, it's pretty good for gaming. Positioning of the instruments are quite well laid out and identified, and the sound separation on it is pretty good. Okay, but what catches me here is the detail retrieval. Every nuances of my song can be picked up. My other IEMs couldn't pick it up. This can pick it up. In terms of the background sound, that small little nuance is all being picked up on this. So it's not very forgivable to poorly recorded songs because it picks up everything. But yeah, it's a very detailed IEM. Okay, resolution is good, is above, well, it does punch above its price point in terms of resolution. Again, I remind you, this is just 50 bucks. Okay, so yeah, very good resolution on this for 50 bucks. Now let's look at the graph. Okay, I'm gonna show you the graph live, measure it, and show you guys. Okay, so with that, I will need my app. Okay, I've got this already measured Let me just lower the ISO for this, like so. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so let me just prop it up here. So this is the graph, how it looks like on. Let's lower the graph. Okay, so you can see. Alright, so this is how it looks like in terms of the graph. Okay, but let me just measure it again and show you guys live. Okay, so I'm gonna play pink noise. Okay, so you can hear. So this is the pink noise. Let me just go back to my audio tools. Now, before I start measurements, let me just mute this for a while. Okay, the gear setup. The gears that I have here is my iPad, of course. I've got the audio tool app. I've got my VLC that plays a pink noise, and then I've got this USB-C dongle that has got PD power delivered to my iPad that gives power to the sound card, and then I've got my sound card that is connected to this dongle here. Okay, yeah, it goes to my sound card, and then my sound card is connected to my mic, which is the coupler, and it's got the front out, as in output to the Zhulinniao. Okay, so that's my setup. Right, so let's put the left side into the coupler. Okay, I got the left side in here. It's a little bit dark, but hope you guys bear with me. Okay, so now I can play my pink noise and then show you guys the measurement. Okay, let me just reset this and then play my pink noise. Okay, it's playing, you can hear. Let's go back. And I need to make sure that this is at about 80 to 85% dB, or 80 to 85 dB, which is about 81 is fine. I need to measure this for about 30 seconds. As you can see, this is about 24 seconds. So I'm just going to pause this at 30 seconds. Okay, so that's done. And let me just pause the pink noise. Okay, so now we can read. So this is the left side. Obviously the right side is going to be the same. I'm not going to waste your time watching it, but yeah, it's going to be the same. So this is how the frequency looks like. Okay, I'm going to explain this graph. So to explain this graph, I'm going to go back to my squig and show you guys. Okay, I think this is a better representation of the graph when you can compare it to Harman. Okay, so I've got two. Right, I've got two different nozzles. Obviously I measured both of them. Let me just show you the white nozzle. Okay, so this is the measurements of the white nozzle, okay, which is green, and then I'm going to show you the red one, which is purple. Okay, the purple line is the red nozzle and the green line is a white nozzle. Okay, so let's dive into this. So basically what you see here is a very linear base, right? The base is very linear, and it does not mean there's no sub base, there's no mid base. It's still there. It's just that it's not as present. It's shy. Let me just bump up my ISO a bit. Nope. Okay, I think that's about it. Okay, so in terms of sub bass, it's shy. It's a shy sub bass. It's lean. It's light, and the rumble is there. This doesn't mean there's no rumble. The rumble is there, but it's sufficient. Okay, very good rumble. I like this type of rumble. It does not impede into the rest of the frequencies. You can hear the rest of the frequencies very cleanly, very clearly. The mid bass is again light, very shy. There's not much color to it, and very analytical, very clinical type of thump and slam. So yeah, there is slam, there is thump, there's the impact, but the impact is a very light impact. It's not even a slam, it's a slap. Okay, as compared to the other IMs. Very niche type of bass here. So yeah, very clean bass and very light bass. Now for the mids, this is where this IEM shines. It's got very forward, clean instruments and vocals. Right? They sound very neutral, very analytical, very clinical type of presentation. My pianos, they sound just nice. They don't sound too heavy, too warm, too colored, and too unnatural. They sound very neutral. Okay, and also for vocals, male vocals, they sound very neutral, not much emotion, that not much authority, in their presence. It's just that they sound very neutral. Okay, female vocals, they shine, right? Female vocals, they've got a lot of energy, they sparkle, they are bright, they stand out. Okay, so female vocals, but it's just that, I mean, they sound very thin. I mean, of course, very sparkly as well, and very energetic, but it's a bit light and very referencing type of female vocals, if you know what I mean. And for some, this may sound a bit harsh. Female vocals may sound a bit harsh in the presence. Okay, now treble. Treble, you have two tunings, as I mentioned. You've got your red nozzle and your white nozzle. Now, the red nozzle will present the treble to be a bit harsh, in your face type of treble. Okay, not by a lot, but I can hear the difference. So for the red nozzle, some people may find it a little bit too fatiguing. Okay, and the tolerance level, it may vary. Okay, if you are very tolerable to very harsh treble, then you can listen to your music for quite some time. But if you can't, then this is not gonna play for long. After a while, you will want to take this out from your ears. Now, in terms of presence is just nice for both nozzles. They are okay. I mean, they've got good brightness, right? They're bright, and they sparkle. Female vocals sparkle for me. Cymbal strikes, hi-hats, they've got that bite there. They've got that cleanliness there. The overall sharpness of the cymbal strikes and the hi-hats are there. Okay, mid treble. This one is actually my coupler's artifact. If you look at the actual one which I measured, it's not that high, okay, as compared to the one on the squig. Okay, as you can see, this is a little bit higher. This is supposed to be higher, but this is supposed to be lower. So it's some sort of like an artifact. Okay, so this is it's not sibilant, right? I mean, it's a little bit on the sibilant side, but it's not very sibilant. Okay, but it's harsh. I mean, that's the difference. Right, and of course it's a very airy type of treble. It gives a lot of the treble is it floats, right? The treble floats. It's very light on this IEM, and it gives the treble head time of his life listening to this IEM. It's a very unique tuning, I would say. Okay, right. So that's the entire frequency for this Zhulinniao Qing Luan, and I would say this again is a unique, a very niche tuning. It's obviously targeted at a certain crowd who likes treble, who don't really like bass, or don't really want the bass to impede into the treble. Then this is very unique. It's one of its kind, and I don't find any competition for this or any comparison for this as well. I mean, I tried to find things that are flat, but so far I don't have any that has got a flat response, neutral response when it comes to the bass, all the way to the mid bass and the lower mids. So very unique tuning, and if you like this type of tuning, this is definitely for you at $50. Okay, it's suitable for classical listening, orchestras, ensembles, those kind of setups. Instrumental songs, female vocals, they sound really good on this. Even EDM, right? Even though EDM, it doesn't bring out the bass for EDM, but it brings out the higher frequencies of EDM, and that gives you the high, because EDM is a very fast-paced music, and the high does play a part in the rhythm of it, and it sounds pretty good. I mean, surprisingly on this IEM in terms of EDM, but there's no sub bass, not much of a presence of the sub bass, not much of the rumble. So yeah, it's okay. So yeah, it's suitable for certain genre of music. It's more of a clinical listening, and if you really want to focus on listening to your music and really enjoy the nuances of your songs, this is a very good pair of IM. Alright, so that concludes my overall review and impression of this Zhulinniao Qing Luan. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So that's it for now. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.